Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with a review of the new Samsung Galaxy S4. At first glance, it looks nearly identical to the Galaxy S3, and as far as the hardware goes, the changes are definitely subtle. It's still entirely made out of plastic, with a carbon fiber-like texture which looks nice on the white version. There is a silver band that wraps around the phone that gives you a bit more of a substantial grip, but beyond that the layout is largely the same. Up front, you'll find a larger 5-inch display that takes up nearly the entire front of the phone, along with an array of sensors and the front-facing camera up top, and the physical home button paired with capacitive menu and back keys below. The volume rocker has been moved up on the left side, and you'll find the sleep-wake button over on the right side. Up top is the headphone jack, secondary microphone, along with an IR blaster that lets you control TVs and set-top boxes, and on bottom there's one more microphone along with the micro USB port for charging and syncing. Flip over the phone and you'll see the camera, flash, and speaker grille. The back is coated in the same hyper-glazed finish as before, and I really don't like the feel of it. It collects fingerprints and dirt easily, and it just feels cheap. On the flip side, you can remove the back to get at the battery, SIM card, along with adding a micro SD card of up to 64 gigabytes. Overall, the hardware feels decent. It's definitely very light and it fits a huge screen without making the actual phone larger, however it lacks the premium feel from the iPhone 5 or HTC One. Light up the 5-inch 1080p AMOLED display and prepare your face for awesome. I mean, this is a very nice looking screen. Colors are extremely saturated, in fact they're a bit exaggerated, however overall there's very little to complain about. Viewing angles are great and the resolution means it's practically impossible to see individual pixels. It is a bit dim in sunlight, but don't get me wrong, this is easily one of the best screens on a phone period. On board, you'll find it's running the latest version of Android 4.2 with TouchWiz. As always, Samsung includes a massive amount of extra features that range from useful to gimmicky. Something I found myself using quite a bit is Watch On, which keeps you up to date with TV shows along with allowing you to change the channel straight from your phone. You can also use your finger to hover over some things like in the Gallery app, however I never really found myself using it. With a 1.9 GHz quad-core processor, the Galaxy S4 is a beastly phone as far as specs go. Take a look at the benchmarks and it destroys basically any phone out there. In real usage, it's incredibly fast and smooth practically everywhere, however with my AT&T review unit, I've noticed occasional bits of lag. They're not common and probably easily fixable with the firmware update, so it doesn't worry me, but it is something worth mentioning. The 13 megapixel camera is fantastic. The software is filled with cool features including the ability to take GIFs, which I found myself using all the time. As far as the camera itself goes, in good light it's one of the best phone cameras period. There's actually very pleasant depth of field, and thanks to having so many megapixels, you can zoom way in and still have lots of detail left. Colors can be a bit oversaturated, but overall it's awesome. Take shots in lower light and it's still alright, however noise is a lot more prevalent and some shots are just not usable. It's better than most phones, but no match at all for the HTC One. The video looks very nice, however the stabilization is lacking and the audio is nothing impressive. Battery life on the Galaxy S4 is great thanks to the 2600 mAh battery. For me, it was easily enough to last through a full day of use, and quite a bit better than the HTC One or Galaxy S3. Overall, I'm impressed by the Galaxy S4, as it's a solid upgrade pretty much across the board compared to the Galaxy S3. Now my one complaint is that the build quality really isn't anything all that special. Now don't get me wrong, it's still totally fine compared to most phones, but if you take a look at something like an iPhone 5 or an HTC One, they feel special, they feel really premium, whereas the Galaxy S4 pretty much just feels like a normal plastic phone. However, of course, on the flip side, you do have access to the micro SD card slot to expand your memory, as well as being able to swap the battery, so it is a trade-off. Overall though, the Galaxy S4 is a fantastic phone with an awesome screen, a fantastic camera, and of course a pretty solid operating system thanks to Android 4.2 as well as some of the TouchWiz optimizations. So if you guys are interested in the Galaxy S4, I definitely do recommend it. It is a very, very good phone. If you're interested in more, feel free to check out my speed test between the Galaxy S4 and the HTC One. And if you enjoyed, definitely be sure to leave this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway guys, I will catch you next time.